Hello, my name is Rachel Coventry, and I'd like to thank Paul for the invitation to read it. Skibbereen Speakeasy. I wish I was in Skibbereen for this, but it's good to be reading anyway. And I'm going to start with a short poem from my debut collection, Afternoon Drinking in the Jolly Butchers, from Salmon Poetry. And then I'm going to read a few poems from my forthcoming collection. What did I do to deserve you? We exist so the universe can experience loneliness. You may think if everything is one, it will be content, there will be no suffering, but you are wrong. If there is just one thing, there can only be longing with nothing to long for. So here we are, splinters in the dark, no other purpose but to break each other's heart. Okay, so the first poem I'm going to read is called Travail. And it's, I love the word travail, which means struggle or hardship, and because it's connected with the word for travel, and this poem kind of looks at that sort of tension. Travail. I dreamt I was having a relationship with a younger married man whom I may or may not recognize from my life. Our attempts to have sex are thwarted by workmen continually knocking at the door. I awake to a push notification on my phone. Since the divorce, I haven't written a poem. I send back something I hope is kind, although I know it's empty. I understand exactly. At the end of my dream, an older woman and a younger man stand facing each other in an apartment, like any two people could move closer than apart on an airport Travelator. This forthcoming collection deals with the death of my father, and my father was absent from my life for most of my life. And it deals more generally with a kind of masculine absence, perhaps the death of the Nietzschean God, and a general sort of generalized absence, basically. So this poem, I have just completed a PhD, and I look at poetics in terms of technology, and this poem looks at all of those things. It looks at technology, specifically video games. So a first-person shooter, which is the title of the poem, is a game in which you have the first-person perspective as you kill loads of people generally. So first-person shooter. God, a smooth-skinned boy with golden hair, alternates easily from first to third-person view, sometimes taking aim, sometimes watching himself kill. We discuss philosophy and he shoots from the hip. The bullet takes the shortest distance to my chest. I take the hit, but it does not pierce the skin. I tell him it's all a question of where you begin. He is unconvinced. He thinks me silly sitting here holding up this tea-stained mug at this old table with its bills, shopping list, poinsettia, sugar spilt, when he's already somewhere else. He thinks he's won, but he need be careful lest I pull him down here with me into this mess. Okay, my final poem is the title, or it's almost the title poem of my forthcoming collection, and it deals with the death of my father. On the death of an absent father. It is a very different thing to remember a place while it still stands, even as a ramshackle ruin, than to remember it once it has been torn down. The long corridor from the toilets to the dance floor, where we sat for hours, surreptitiously pouring vodka from the naggins in our handbags to our glasses, is gone. The Warwick Hotel, broken and dilapidated, invisible for an age as we drove past it, forgetting how little hope we had as we attempted to launch ourselves from that dirty carpet, how little hope as we adorned the pitiful world with laughter. The Warwick Hotel is gone. It is an empty plot that someone will force a future on. Okay, that's me. Thanks so much again to Paul, and hopefully I will get to meet you all in Skibbereen in the future.